Hi, my name is Dr. Ham. I'm from Southern Veterinary Partners. Today I just wanted to talk to you about how to keep our pets, mainly dogs, safe during the summer months. Summer heat can be very dangerous and uncomfortable for our dogs. So there's a couple tips that I'd like to share with you about how to keep them safe and comfortable this summer. One of the main things, which seems pretty obvious but very important, is always offering fresh water. Super important all day long, whether they're inside or outside. It's very important to make sure that they have plenty of water, and that's to prevent dehydration. Dehydration obviously can make them feel bad and lead to other problems. One of the other things that I'd like to talk about that we deal with unfortunately a lot is heat stroke in dogs. With the temperatures here in Alabama reaching 95 to 100 even this week, we do have to worry about these things. One of the most unfortunate ways that it can happen is in a parked car. So I would recommend that just please don't take your dogs with you on errands, even if it's short, even if it's 10 minutes running into the store, because generally the rule of thumb is about every 10 minutes inside the car, it will heat up about 20 degrees. So for example, on an 85-degree day, you just run into the store for 10 minutes, that car's already up to 105 degrees. Give it another 10 to 15 minutes, it's 120 degrees inside that car, which can be obviously fatal to them. So super important, just leave the dogs at home, don't travel with them in the car. And the other thing is walking. One of the things I would encourage is to adjust the time that you're walking your pets. Do not go out at 2 p.m. the middle of the day when it's the hottest. We have patients that will come in, trouble, struggling with heat stroke after those kind of things. So early in the morning, get up as the sun's coming up, do their walks then, or even in the evening after the sun has gone down. Very important to think about that. The other thing with heat stroke is also the type of dog that you have. There are certain breeds, they're called brachycephalic breeds, that have the little short snouts like pugs. They're definitely more susceptible to having heat stroke. So also very important to be very careful about exercising and even just leaving them outdoors for any length of time, for several hours during the day. Very important to keep them in where it's cool, and then also they have fresh water. And some of our older pets also can have issues cooling themselves. I don't know how many people know this, but dogs don't sweat like we do. They have to pant to cool themselves off. And so if they have any kind of compromise in their respiratory system, it makes it that much harder for them to cool, and therefore they're more susceptible to heat stroke. So just some things to think about there. The other thing, of course, is grooming, regular grooming, keeping that winter coat that's starting to come out now, just getting them brushed, yourself, or taking them to the groomer, and just keeping their hair coat, trimmed, not shaved. Don't necessarily recommend shaving because that can actually make things worse and lead to sunburn and stuff like that. And then keeping their paws trimmed nice so they're not chewing on those. It's just so hot and humid here in Alabama. They're prone to getting infections and all kinds of issues on their feet. Which leads me to the last thing is their paw pads. Very important to think about this as well when you are walking them. How hot is too hot to avoid injuries and burns to their paw pads. I say generally take the back of your hand and lay it down on the asphalt or concrete for 7 seconds. And if after 7 seconds you're very uncomfortable and it's hard to leave your hand there, that's too hot for them. And that we see a lot of paw pad injuries and stuff in the summer, so just due to the heat when you're walking them outside. Or even playing by the pool. That happened to my own dog, playing by my parents' pool and didn't take into account the fact how hot it was, and he had some pad injuries. So anyway, just a couple of things that we think about in summertime, keeping our pets safe from this heat, especially here in Alabama, and just thanks so much.